Yeah.
Because that's on.
Cool.
Fine.
There was no surprise at Glam batted. Was there?
Sorry.
No surprise at Glam batted. Oh, do you want to get the bags from downstairs?
Yeah. I'll do it.
I'll take the phone now, because just in case they're there. I've got my camera with me, which is bonus.
Yeah.
It's going to be up all day, isn't it? It's all messy.
Hey, you got some strong.
What's the road bikes like, by the way?
Alright.
Looking at that, or there's the DJI ones that we're looking at.
I've the DJI ones, those with the flat top.
Similar to the square black road bikes, aren't they? Similar in shape.
I haven't used the DJI ones before, but these road ones work pretty well.
But those ones are good.
Yeah, pretty good. They don't, and because they have this, they don't give you the buffer.
So you don't need to use that if that's good enough.
Yeah, this is good enough, but if you're, say, outdoors, then you want a bit, which,
Yeah.
otherwise you don't.
I'm screwing some funding at the moment for getting some more kit.
You can go road
I set
bike.
up, yeah, I was looking more.
Okay.
Like, I set up N10 Spinning as a non-profit,
Okay.
so a community interest company
That should
to
help
help kids get into media,
Oh, okay.
and linked up with a local college as well.
Where's that in the back? Where's that?
In Swindon here.
Okay.
Yeah. And now we'd like starting to do workshops and other bits and pieces, and giving the opportunity for the kids to get out and actually get experience at events. And after more, I would say, professional equipment. But at the moment, been running like mics from doing like interviews on the phone by just using the old Amazon 9.99 thing, which I found actually very good.
Most phone mics are actually very good now.
They are bloody good. I mean, I started obviously without any mic attachments. Then got the clip mics that
Attach your phone.
that attach to
To
your
be honest,
phone,
I found
which for
that-
9.99 they're really good.
I found that. Well, but what do you use it for? Video or simple just audio?
But basically, just both. Like video, like say in interviews with like various people and so on. It tends to be good. Like even outside, and with background noise, I've found it's pretty good.
I found that your phone is actually probably the best thing possible. As in terms of if you're going purely audio. I never actually use a road mic unless I'm going to be doing it in front of a camera.
Yeah.
So it'll be mainly for the aesthetic.
Fun with like when you're on the phone and outside, it might be a lovely day, but the wind crackling through the mic basically doesn't tend to be sounding that great.
Just get a little windshield in that. You don't actually need the mic. Just buy one of those little windshield attachments. Plug in.
For your phone?
Yeah. It's like a little cover sheet to put on the bottom of your phone.
Yeah.
It covers the whole thing. It's just a windshield from there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like £1.50 or something.
Nice. I've been a water photographer for the past 10 years and come back, set up N10 Spinning as something to do in the community. But also because nobody's doing it. Nobody's telling people what's going on in Swindon, which is quite surprising. It's like your local page.
It's my first time in Swindon.
Is it?
We've got Magic Roundabout.
Have you been across it? What did you think?
First I was confused. I went through it and I was still confused. I got out of it and I was still confused, but I was happy because I'd got through it.
It's, I don't know, maybe us guys in
If you
Swindon,
follow the traffic
we're used to it. It's when you explain that you can actually go clockwise and anti-clockwise around the roundabout.
Exactly.
That confuses people, but it's actually probably the most simple roundabout to ever use in the country, other than two others, because there's three of these, and 3 magic roundabouts in the country.
I see how it works because you can go both ways.
And it flows traffic really easily.
It does
flows lots of traffic. If you just had one roundabout, you'd need traffic lights to basically take that many junctions. And this, it just flows.
The only thing is I don't know where I'm looking, so I just look around and if no one's moving, I just pick them up.
Well, there is the local joke where basically it's like the simplest way to do it.
Go to the middle.
Close your eyes and just put your foot on the accelerator.
That's what I did. I said, I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah.
And the only way I can mess this up is by stalling my car. So what I'm going to do is, I need to get from this exit to that exit, and the shortest route is to go that way. So I literally...
If there's a roundabout to your right, which there always is on the magic roundabout, you're going the right way.
Yeah, literally, I just went... So I came from the main road to get to the side road that attaches to this. And it would have been 1, 2, 3. So I literally just went, alright, I have no idea what's going on here. All I'm going to assume is I'm just going to go from here to there. What's the shortest way possible? I went bang, bang, bang.
Like, if you're coming in from like one of the main dual carriageway bit, like coming here, and you got the main big roundabout, and you've got one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. To get over there, normal common sense would say to go around the big roundabout.
Yeah.
But actually, most people in and out, because it's quicker and more simpler, to actually go the opposite route, so
Is
the
that
wrong way
right?
around the roundabout, because you're not going the wrong way around that one, you're actually going the right way around this one and this one.
Exactly, that's exactly what I did.
So you turn it right and you go around that way.
As long as you see it as 3 roundabouts. But I can see how this vehicle is. But then again, why is there only 2 of those in the country? 3 of them.
There's one in, I think, Hertfordshire. One towards, there's one towards London, between here and London.
There's one in London, it was chaos.
Could you imagine it? Where I was the thing.
I mean, that's how I got here. I come from London, so I just hopped on the M4.
Yeah.
Zoom, get to Swindon.
I lived in
Those are
London
pretty
6
close,
years, so I'm trying to think where. If you
Apart
stuck a
from
magic
London,
roundabout somewhere, where would like somewhere like
West London?
yeah, well, I'm like further out first in northwest London, thinking Norfolk. That would
Kill people.
that would kill people. People would like if you dumped one of those in Norfolk,
People would
kill
die.
people. But also maybe somewhere near the Marble Arch or somewhere around sort of the top end of like that end of Hyde Park where it's always
If you
crammed.
put it in Bushy Park, I think you'd be right.
Food.
Oh yeah. Is that downstairs?
Yeah, it's just down there on.
Ah, okay. Have they got a truck or something?
No, it's a canteen there.
Oh, okay.
It's inside the just at the bottom on the right here.
A water, please.
Waiting for an insurance company also give me a payout. Some idiot texting on their phone driving swerved and hit me as I was walking across the road. I was working that day with most of my main camera equipment on me as well. Went up in the air, landed all smashed. So
How much is the payout? Enough?
they're probably looking at about 60-70k.
Mm.
But I had like 10k worth of camera equipment on me at the time.
Oh well, take that.
So they need to pay me that to start with.
Do you end up? You left out in one piece?
Yeah, I bounced off.
Okay.
So I went up on the bonnet, through the windscreen, so there's a hole that big like size of the edge of the windscreen. Then I went on the roof and bounced on the road behind the car.
Ah.
Luckily, didn't break any bones, but
I mean,
it took me nearly 18 months to recover. That was February 15th last year.
so was it burns and
I've
cuts?
just been able to do my first 5k.
So was it just a lot of cuts then? I mean, it's non-shat.
Didn't have any cuts either. I had a bit of a cut on the back of my head.
You got this going or?
That was it.
It's on.
I was in the.
Yeah. Welcome to the burger.
You on the toast?
Glam. Just about.
Glam on the toast. Do you want the other one?
Yeah. I'm not doing it. Maybe just one gets it.
Who gets it?
Sure.
Coming through.
There might be 2 videos.
Are we looking, Sasa? Sas?
Yeah.
Shall I go now? Hello and welcome to Swindon Cricket Club. It's a lovely afternoon here. Glamorgan have won the toss and chose to bat. Shot straight away out to deep fielder and 1 run. Good positive start from the Glamorgan batters there. Pouncing on a bit of width early doors. It's like a lovely batting pitch by the looks of it. Bit of grass, but should be a great day for batting in general. Shot, width again, this time cut for 4 after a flying start. 2 cut shots, first 2 balls, 5 runs on the board. Great start from Glamorgan. Once again, another cut and miss. Three balls with a bit of width early from Sophie. Much better path it, pushed out to point, no run. That one a lot closer to the off stump, forcing the batter to show full vertical face. And a little bit of swing, which is always good to see. Oh, no ball. Half it, pushes it out to deep cover. 1 run, but more crucially a free hit for Glamorgan. They can change the field, but they have chosen to keep it the same. Interesting where she goes here. Halliday facing the free hit. Halliday charges, sharp, down the ground. Well stopped at mid-on. Just a single. As a bowling side, I guess that's a successful free hit to only go for 1. The first over is currently on 9 runs, and there is 1 ball to go. Ooh, late cut to third man, bit of an edge. And that's the first over completed. 10 for no loss after 1. It's a good start from Glamorgan there, pouncing on the width early doors. With a deep cover and a deep third, I guess you could say Sophie was bowling to her field, but the Glamorgan batters were very keen to cut anything at any opportunity. Now coming in to bowl the second over is some spin, so a bit of change of pace. Down the leg side, wide ball. Punch to cover, another dot ball. Push the cover again, this time beats cover. Are they going to come back for a second? No, just the one. And joining alongside me this afternoon is Nick. Nick, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks, mate. How are things?
Going alright? Good start from Glamorgan.
Yeah, tight start to this over there.
Top hedge. And an early wicket. Straight in the box, wicket straight away.
Lovely catch.
It is. That is 12 for 1 now. I think Wiltshire have made a decent enough comeback after that first over. There was a bit of width, and I think the change of pace has worked well for them.
Yeah, a bit of width and slightly short as well. So started to bowl a really good hard length, but unfortunately on a pitch like this, it's not got much for her in that first over. So.
Do you think it might be a day where the spinners are used a lot, considering it is a big ground and being able to target the stumps should be as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think spinners going to be key. I think we'll probably see a good maybe 3 or 4 overs of pace from the top end and then move to spin, I imagine.
New batter coming in, Beth Gammon. 4 balls into the over. Do you think she'll take it down straight away, or
it's a tough one, isn't it? On such a big ground, I think you have to sort of go quite early. You're not going to find the boundary as easily as you may elsewhere. I think you've got to try and go for it, try and pick a gap and go. I don't see her blocking out the last 2 balls, to be quite honest.
You're correct, you
She
are.
does.
She's beaten square leg and a short fine. Running hard, 4 runs. Great start,
shot,
400
well
strike
placed.
rate. Yeah, just a little bit, tiny bit short. I wouldn't say it's the worst delivery in the world, but with short fine and square leg up, there's always the risk that you beat the infielder on the ground like this, it flies away to the ball.
Yeah, very quick out there. And the warm up for Jason Brown fielding the balls were coming through very, very, very quickly. So it does seem to be a case that if you beat the ring, you're likely to get forward here.
Push the point, no run. Yeah, I think the recent weather, apart from the last few days of rain, push to cover. Extra cover misses it, but cover collects it, and that is the end of the over. 12 for 1 after 2. Yeah, as I was saying, I think the weather has been so dry, all the outfalls are so hard, and just absolutely frightening us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting as well, because I don't think it's made that much difference in the outfield in that rain, but I think the traps have started to get a little bit sticky, get a little bit harder to bat on. It was an absolute batter's paradise for the first few weeks of the season, for sure. But we'll see. Cloudy conditions, bit of a sticky wicket potentially. That will fly off the outfield, it might make it a little bit harder to bat.
And although it is cloudy, it's not flippy cold either.
No, true.
Sophie's second over. Oh, it's an excellent delivery.
Yeah, push that length up there a little bit from what she was bowling in the first over, and she's already seen the fruit of it.
There is a bit of outswing going, and I think now that she has got her length, that tad bit full is pushing the outside edge rather than challenging on the back foot, which I assume the Glam batters, by the looks of it, love to cut.
Yeah, that first over did suggest a couple out there sort of towards deep back of point.
Out to deep cover for 1. That again is almost a similar delivery, but that's probably the side you want to err on, the fuller side. Got the protection there.
Definitely rather be on that fuller side. See how she comes up, plays up with this delivery.
Gammon's first ball against seam.
She enjoyed her first ball against spin.
Oh, that's an excellent thing.
Yeah, much better length.
And much better line. That one started on middle and off. Kept the stumps in play the whole way through. I think that's probably going to have to be the go-to plan for the bowlers today on a pitch and outfield like this. You've got to keep the stumps in play all times, haven't you?
You've got to really keep it tight. And knowing the strength that Glamour got in that batting order, you really want to try and keep the runs down, get your wickets early on, try and make them push, and hopefully make them make mistakes at the back end of the innings. As soon as you let them build a platform, you know they'll come in and punish you at the end of an innings.
Car again down to third man, 1 run. See, that one there was probably not the worst line, but I think as soon as you go short, these Glam batters are licking their lips and just trying to get a hold of it.
Yeah, just a sort of rock back, sit on that back foot, playing through.
Very keen to put away anything offline, as you'd imagine most teams would in a power play. Oh, great delivery, unlucky. Down third, going 1, pushing 2, well fielded, just a single. You're surprised there's no slip with the outswing that she's getting now that she's found that length.
Now that she's found the length, I did see the field change come in, but instead they brought the fielder down as sort of a
2 points almost.
a backward, short backward.
Oh,
point.
here we go.
There you go. We're talking about it. We've spoken it into existence.
Oh, no. Tom dust. Gone to short 5.
Back the other way. That I'm especially interested by. I did think she was going to move over to slip now. Onto deep cover again. Kept to just a single again.
Perhaps with the short fine coming in, it's the end of the over. 20 for 1 after 3. Yeah, with the short fine coming in, I think perhaps they'll just deploy to get Sophie to just bowl a tad bit straighter.
Yeah, I think so. But given that she only moved the double ball before, you think that stick with the plan.
And maybe it would be the type of place where you could gamble on a slip, take an early wicket, and then right in it, because partnership here you can really start to get away from it, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as you said, if she's seeing the outswing on the first few deliveries of that over, you'd think anyone with good hands in the slip, you'd be licking your lips at an early wicket.
Oh, I think that's what you're talking about. That one really stopped, didn't it?
Yeah, really stuck.
Sign of things to come.
That was through the shot very, very early there.
Very
as well.
How's that? I believe she got a hand to it. The batter was in the crease, so half it will be alright there. It's an excellent first, 8 deliveries, Katie. Keeping the stumps in play at all times. Bit of flight. Excellent shot. Punch with the offside. And 4 runs.
And that is that outfield.
Just marginal bit of air, bring her on the front foot, and just slap through the offside.
Yeah, I don't hate those types of deliveries, trying to get a little bit of flight, but yeah, on this sort of outfield, she's not even timed it fantastically well, and it's raced away. So.
Bit of flight again.
There you go.
Come down. That's a lot better. That one was a tad bit straighter, so it was not as easy to free the arms and lash it through the infield on the offside. Pulled. Oh, just beat mid-wicket. Powerfully struck. 4 runs.
Here's a good effort though from mid-wicket there. That was closer than I think we gave it credit.
Yeah. Only a couple of inches away. Now Glamour really flying along. Gammon is on 14 from 11 deliveries. Already hit 3 boundaries.
Again there as well. Today is not the day to be short.
Nicely punched down the ground. Mid-off comes across. And that's just a single. There's also over 29 for 1 after the first 4 overs. Decent start for Glam?
Yeah, I think so. I think that second over, first over, probably second over of the game was fantastic. I think that over was not quite so strong. Again, sort of pulled the length back a little bit, trying to flight it to get the Glam batter to make a mistake, and she didn't. So I think you'd be happy if you were Glam in the situation, absolutely.
Perhaps she was exploring to see if there would be any turn once she gave a bit of air, but it didn't really seem to be that way. I think the go-to might be to use that good length in the pitch, as we saw one of them just stuck.
Absolutely. The one you probably traditionally think she should have got away was the one that stuck, so potentially playing around a little bit that good length. Sounds well struck.
It's a good start to the over from Sophie.
Yeah, that's that hard length.
Hard length around off stump. Bowls a few of those, I can imagine there. She'll be well into the batter here. Good shot. Out to deep cover.
Yeah, Flo Sharma at deep cover having a very, very busy afternoon as it stands.
And I think that quite makes sense with the tad bit of outswing and the way she's bowling. These Glam batters are really keen to throw their hands at anything that misses the off stump.
Yeah, I think they might have also targeted who the cutter is, because you've just seen the fielder come from fine across again.
We speak again, out to deep cover once more. It's almost like this end's been on a loop, deep cover.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind it though in a T20. Yeah. Singles is alright.
And clearly she's erring on the side of where her fielders are, which you can never.
No, exactly. Quality of field.
Exactly. As we speak, I was a tad straight gone from the pull shot. I'm not exactly sure if the length was there, but
she set up very early as well. It was almost a premeditated pull.
I think once you saw the line, it was almost a case of pull off line rather than length. Didn't really get to hold of that one bouncer short of it. Well fielded at point. Sharply hit.
Very well fielded there.
Could be safe 4 at least.
Yeah, that is in that horrible gap between deep cover and sort of deep backward point.
But if you beat point hard enough, you usually get 2 or 4 either way.
Especially here on this ground today with the outfield as it is, yeah.
As we speak, that has been cut past point. Oh, well fielded. Excellent fielding.
Down there. Again, very busy Flo Sharma.
She was quick down to her left-hand side, did a little roll, picked it up and swiftly brought it in. And I think that is something that will be very key today, especially with how quick it is. Once it beats you, it's 4. So you've got to get down and get down early. Especially on this hard outfield, you might have to eat a few, but got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I think as a fielder, you're probably blessing the last couple of days of rain.
Yeah.
I've got quite a significant graze all down my left-hand side from going down on hard wickets the last couple of weeks. So now that it's rained, I'm sure they're all blessing the fact the outfield's not quite so hard, although it's still running quickly.
There'll be a lot of sore elbows.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the last over the power play. Glamorgan are 33 for 1 after 5. If they could get to 40, you'd say that's a strong start for them.
Yeah, I would. Very tight over there, though, from so only 4 from it. So you'd think, although I suggested that we might not see as much seam.
There's still spin from that end, but a change of bowling, not the left arm spin, it's the right arm off spin of Sanya Quran. Pushed into mid wicket for 1 run. 5 balls left. You think she'll dip in and try and hit one over those infielders at mid on, mid up?
I think it's quite a risky shot. I do think if we're going to do it during the power play, it's your time to try.
Pull past short fine, racing away, and that's 4 runs. I think clearly the plan of action is to wait for anything that's short and hit it to the square boundaries. It clearly flies, so perhaps there is no need to take a risk and go over the infield.
No,
the outfield's doing its job for you.
And as you say, if you beat short fine, go for 4.
That's not a great delivery, full toss. Pulled out to deep mid wicket. Coming back to the second.
That is well
get there pretty easily. Also, with the size of the boundary, there are so many pockets for 2s, so realistically, if you get it either side of the field, you can always be pushing that second run, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very central wicket today, so it's probably one of the bigger boundaries, especially given... especially given some of the other pitches these ladies play on. This boundary is probably the biggest I've seen them play on for a long, long time. So those twos are going to become crucial.
Short, top edged, but safe. One bounce for deep mid wicket, and just a single.
Yeah, that's a perfect example, as we say. Balls to hand, straight in. No chance for two there. If you hit it either side of the fielder there, there's a very good chance you'll take him on the arms in that deep right.
Last ball of the power play. 41 for 1. And blocked to mid wicket.
Yeah, well bowled.
Well bowled. Decent first over there, apart from one just slightly down the leg side, which was put away for 4. You say Glamorgan's power play?
I'd say so. I think the early wicket, keeping it around 20 within the first 3 overs was good. Those 3 overs definitely on Glam's side. I'd say they're definitely edging it in those first 6 overs.
But now that the field's spread, will give more opportunity for Wiltshire to cut off some boundaries and hopefully draw that run rate back.
Yeah, I think so. I think this next sort of 6-7 over period is going to be really big as we look to think about who might come on for safety at this end, see how well we can restrict runs, potentially take wickets as well in this 6-7 over spell, as I say. If you can keep them below another 40 or 50 here, you're looking at a very chaseable total.
But on Glamorgan's side, of course, they are only 1 down, so do you have that platform to push on if they need to later on? So I'm not sure they'll be too worried about trying to put the pressure on too early. But then again, of course, as they've done so far in the opening 6 overs, anything loose has gone to the fence very, very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's seeing how few of those high-risk shots you have to play. If you can continue doing as we have been doing, pushing singles out to deep cover, hitting 4 behind square, you're not taking many risks there. So if you can accumulate like that.
A lot of reward for your shots. So.
No bowlers union today on this track, unfortunately.
Cut out past point, deep cover moving to the left. Well fielded, saved 2 runs. It's very well done out there. What do you think Poppy will try and do in this over? Keep the stumps in play and limit it to singles?
Yeah, I think so. I think she'd be very happy if she came out this over with 6 singles out to deep cover. She'd be very happy.
Deep cover fielder might not be.
No, that's absolutely right. They are on the academy together, so very close, those two guys.
Over ball. That one came out really nicely out the hand. Bit of dip. Didn't really turn much, but once you bowl it in line with the stumps, you don't need to.
She's one who can turn. She's got one of my favourite actions in this team. She's always fantastic to watch bowl. Really lovely follow through. Well fielded.
Another excellent delivery. Keep the stumps in play. Parker's trying to walk away and cut that for the offside, which is a risk. Of course, but he's in now, so I'll be interested to see how it goes from there. But again, good hand, extra cover.
Good hand.
Probably saved 1 run there. Easy now for mid-off to come around and pick it up.
That shows you the stage of the game. I was expecting them to turn back for a second there, as they hadn't even got there yet.
I think they're clearly trusting the pitch because they're not afraid to expose their stumps, trying to create the width. Awesome.
Steps away again.
One Maya stayed a tad low, but didn't quite time the way she wanted. Last ball of the over, only 2 runs gone. Well fielded.
Yeah, very well fielded.
Cut to short third. She couldn't really find that gap between point and short third.
No, she's not timed any of those. I wonder if don't want to offend Poppy by saying it, but a lack of pace compared to safe.
Yeah.
I think it's not coming onto the bat quite as nicely from that end. So she was trying to play the same cut, same shot, and not getting as much or any reward for it at all. So.
And generally with wrist spin, you often find that they can get more out of the pitch than any other type of bowler. So that's probably something that could work in Poppy's favour.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how she approaches that second over. We saw a Cobby bowl a really, really tight first over and then struggle in the second. How she tried to get the ball to do a little bit more for her. So interested to see how Poppy will come back on her second over.
I also saw Sanya would enjoy the extra fielders out there. Her first over went for 8, but if we look to drag this down, another over similar. Poppy would be excellent for Wiltshire here. In the air, and it lands in between no one.
dropped in the gap.
Good chipping.
Yeah, very good chipping.
2 fielders going round for that, but no one was really in catch, to be honest.
No, I didn't even hear the field shout catch, which is always a good sign that nobody knows they're going to get there.
Trying to back away again.
Yeah, really sort of trying to create width.
Mm.
Definitely seems to feel more comfortable hitting into the offside than into the leg side. And again, making the width.
Trying to make width. I think Sanya saw her and just followed her, target their pads, and she can only really get out to short and wicket. Great shot. Slight misfield at mid-off, and they come back for the second. That was forcefully struck. I thought that once she'd be in extra cover, it might race away to the ball, but mid-off got round quickly enough and managed to save 2, or if you're super critical, and say gave away 1. Once again, good hand there.
Yeah, very much a goalkeeping performance at the moment.
2 very well-struck deliveries, well-struck shots.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get happy with 2 from either of those, I'd say.
Could have easily gone 4 on another day, so
Yeah, absolutely.
Single to end the over. .49 for 1 after 8. Much better second over from Sanya.
Yeah, I think having those fielders spread was definitely helpful. Allowed her to vary her length up more, vary her line up more.
I think it would be the sort of wicket where you kind of have to force the batters into shots to earn your wickets. I don't. By the looks of it right now, there isn't too much going in the bowler's favour. But with a couple of quiet overs, I think they can force a shot in the air. Or maybe one of those where the batter tries to create width, just sneaks under the bat and they get bowled.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to make your own luck in this. There's not a great deal, as you say, coming from the pit, bar those few deliveries from Soph that we saw swinging.
Oh, it's firmly struck back of the bowler. Was dropped in the end, but boy, that was tough for them.
It's not an easy chance, and as I said, her follow through of her delivery strike is fantastic, so she's ready for it. It's not an easy one to take. Hopefully, she can pick herself up and take another stab. That's well bowled.
She's really finding her rhythm now.
Yeah, absolutely. I did like the shout from deep cover. I'm not too sure what the shout was for, but did seem keen on something she saw in that delivery.
Really seems to be coming out of her fingers well. And get a nice bit of dip and fly. Once again, hit over the onside. It's a great shot. Into one of those pockets. Won't be 4. Well fielded. Kept down to 2 runs. I think that's good signs for Poppy to see the batter trying to hit across the line from the stump. There is a gap out there, but it's always risky those sort of shots.
No, absolutely, and I think you'd rather her trying to take on those sort of shots first.
Looked good from up here, but there wasn't much of an appeal. I imagine there's some batting there.
I'm surprised deep cover didn't have another shout.
Always looks good from deep cover, doesn't it?
Always looks good.
2 balls left in this over. Really good from Poppy so far. Punch down the ground. Firmly hit. Well fielded.
Well round.
Wiltshire have done really well in the field in the last 3 overs. They must have saved at least 6 or 7 runs, just cutting off 2s and stopping balls from penetrating the infield.
Well bowled.
Excellent.
Lovely overs in there from Poppy again.
Fielders backing her up well, and Glamorgan have slightly slowed down. Get to 53 for 1 after 9, which are pulling this back. I feel a couple of more, maybe 1 or 2 more overs of this, and something will brew and build. Either as Glamorgan or try and take on the bowlers or Wiltshire pick one up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of will they score runs or will they get themselves out. I think there's going to have to be the pressure's going to have to break at some stage in the next couple of overs. I don't think you'd be particularly happy going at 3 and over until the end of the innings. So it's going to break is the question.
It's interesting. So long off has gone back, which makes sense in the last over. A couple of them really hit hard there, and she did well to stop them from being boundaries. But that means deep cover has come up. Mid off back, deep cover.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. I was going to say, you're going to have to be very on it with your length.
She hasn't hit that really well, just chipped over where the fielder was, came back for 2. Imagine your line will have to be a tad bit straighter now to feed those onside fielders. Got 3 on the onside, deep square, deep wicket, long on, and long on. Oh, I think she's got, look at that, looked like there's a bit of width there. She ended up getting dragged out to long on just for a single.
Not where I'd have thought she'd have hit it there.
No, I was fearing that be hit through the offside before, but deep cover now goes back.
I wonder if it's a batter by batter field set now.
I believe so.
This is the batter who's been having quite some success off sofa to that deep cover field. Goes quite straight again.
Clearly trying to give herself room again, Miss Cameron, but ended up going out to long on. It's another one of those hot spots to off spin, isn't it? Long on, always just a general thing in T20, just punch it down there for a single.
She's definitely making it look.
An excellent shot from Parfit. That's 6 runs, I believe, all the way. Brilliant shot.
Yeah, good shot.
On the stump, but slightly over the pitch, picked up well, timed it beautifully, and soared into the gap. But wouldn't have really mattered because it went over the fence all the way for 6.
Yeah, lovely noise off the bat there. Really nicely picked up.
She was also backing away there a little bit. I think that's a good method to go because gives herself room to hit through the onside if it goes too straight, and then there's always the option of the offside if needed. Has to go for it again. Doesn't get as much of it. Just a single out there. Much stronger over to Glamorgan. One more boundary from here, and they'll be very pleased.
You'd be very, very happy as Glamorgan here if you can get on the boundary and head into the last 10.
Last ball of Sanya's third. Gammon backs away, cuts it just past short extra cover, but fielder at deep cover just goes round, collects it. Simple single.
And that is that plan we were talking about. That deep cover to Gammon seems to be a must. Seems to always want to back away and hit into that offside.
Well, Glamorgan halfway through the innings, 65-1 after 10 overs. You imagine with 9 in hand, they're foot to the pedal now.
Yeah, as I said, you have to hope so. It's going to really depend on this over for Poppy. I think Sanya's probably going to come off there, so we'll have to see who comes on from the town end. But I think if Poppy can keep this tight, as Glamorgan, I think you'd be targeting 130, 140, 150 from here, knowing that you've got 9 wickets in hand. So it's going to come down to these next couple of overs and whether Wiltshire can take any wickets.
I think Poppy's over here will also be key for Wiltshire. If they can snag a wicket here, she's been bowling really well. Her first 2 have only got 6 runs. If she can sneak one through it, it will put Wiltshire in a much better position to claw back this game in their favour. Swept out to the onside. Bit of spin. Well done in the end. She got done by the turn. It wasn't the first bounce, it wasn't the second bounce, it was the third bounce.
Yeah,
it was I think Glam batters had pushed a bit harder than might have got through there, but
yeah, also I did get done by the perspective there. Lauren Adams was at mid-wicket, very, very interesting there for a little while. But ended up sailing over her head.
Gave herself room, cut past extra cover. Pushing, they're turning. Oh, it's gone for 4. Probably should have got there, but oh well.
Yeah, it's a shame because fielding at deep cover especially has been fantastic tonight. Especially given the pressure that Poppy built from this end.
And the worst delivery either. That's cut almost off leg stump. Parfit was giving herself room. She has raced along to 30th, 26th. Cut again, exactly the same place. Running hard. Much better fielding this time. Saves the boundary. It cuts it down to 2. Back to normal.
Yes. Very, very good on the cut. Clearly.
Yeah, they're trying to enforce that cut shot any point possible, really, where regardless of where the ball is bowled, they're trying to give themselves room to open up both sides of the wicket. He draws on the front foot.
It's a good single to run, actually, with mid-wicket on the ring, not quite on the single.
There's a 2 set batters for Glamorgan go really quickly there. 32 and 35. One at better than one, both at better than one. Bit of flight. Try to give herself room. Doesn't go where she wanted, but single's not the worst result either. Last ball of Poppy's third over. I think this will be the last of her spell, or will she both be?
I think it's challenging now that they seem to be much more comfortable. First couple of overs, they couldn't seem to time the back foot at all. So I think the question is going to be whether they decide to stick with her.
Flight, hit really strongly, straight to long off.
Yeah, well watched actually.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bubble there. Those sort of outfield, I think you'd be happy to get your body in the way and worry about it later.
Yeah, I think you can trust the pitch. That's the first sort of bubble true bubble we've seen actually.
But was it very firmly so?
Yeah, very nicely struck. I think if Poppy's in flow, I do think you keep her through full ball. I think we saw enough in the first couple of overs to know that it takes one ball for Poppy to get through, as you say. There's a lot of risk being taken, that's stepping outside the leg stump to hit through the offside. So all it takes, as you say, is one to sneak under, one to sneak through, and that's a big wicket.
Change of bowling with that, and the Glam batters are having a seriously long chat in the middle. I believe it could be something along the lines of one of them tries to anchor and go the whole way through, whilst the other just gives it the full kitchen sink and tries to see how many boundaries they can hit, because they are in an excellent position going into the last 9 overs.
Yeah, I'd suggest, having seen how well she cuts, it could be Gammon that's going to go a bit big.
Parfait has hit 6 and 2 boundaries, so maybe some of that power can come into play.
Yeah, I did suggest I think that might be in for Sanya's spell, see if we can get a little bit more control this town in.
3 overs have also been done from that end. Third man, a deep cover, finding a deep square.
It's a good first delivery there.
I think with the keeper up, it does just force the Glam batters to stay in their crease and maybe make them think twice about charging or opening up too much of that offside. So it's good ploy from Wiltshire. Well bowled. Yeah, well bowled from Griffiths as well. He's striking them well, but just not quite found the gap there. I think it's only a matter of time before those start hitting the gaps and going to the fence. Well bowled by Griffiths. Well stopped on the follow through as well. Stung a little bit, but
Yeah, that's one of those that you say you worry about another day.
yeah.
You wear it for now for your own figures and you worry about it another day. This is her first game in a Wiltshire shirt as well, previously off Glamorgan. So very interested to see if she can use her insider knowledge to sneak one through here.
I believe that might be working, because so far he has not given any balls that can be cut. All been very straight, very full, attacking the stumps and the pads, keeping those cut shots away from these Glam batters.
Yeah, that's really what's been needed in the first sort of half of this innings. Is target the stumps, get it on a good length, and you'll get some value.
As we speak, that has been cut really hard, out to deep cover, very well fielded.
Yeah, well done by deep cover.
And an excellent throw as well. That is one of the longest corners of the ground there.
Over the keeper almost.
Gone across at full speed, dived, picked it up, and flung it in. Bowler's head. A lot of mileage for their deep fielders today.
Yeah, it's deep cover both ends.
Tries to go for the cut again. This one was a little bit tighter to her. Manages to get out to the same fielder who now charges in full speed towards the ball.
Yeah, lucky to find the gap there because that was not timed.
Decent over from Griffiths.
Yeah, very good over at this stage, I'd say. When you're, as we were discussing, you have your clan batters in the middle thinking who's going to go, who's going to step. To get an over, what was that, 4 or 5 off the over, not many at all. Very, very good.
Great start for her in a Wiltshire shirt. Having a quick drink, the Glamorgan. Some gloves coming out. Is this a secret message or?
Yeah, I do wonder if there might be a message brought out with that drink there.
As usually is.
Yeah, I think as we were saying, they were having quite a big chat in between the last over, so maybe this is some reinforcement from the coach. Interested to see if we do see a change in approach here.
Poppy is bowling a 4 overs straight through. They're not holding her back at all.
I do think when you're in rhythm, as a bowler, especially at her type, it's much better to stay in rhythm and get through your overs. Again, knowing that all it takes is one ball. Yeah.
Bill Gammon might target mid-wicket here. Ooh, well bowled.
Very well bowled.
She was trying to open up that.
She was looking at that mid-wicket area, didn't quite manage to.
Mid-wicket fielders also come in a lot off the edge of the ring. She's very in tight, trying to stop one, perhaps incite that shot across the line.
There it is. Heaved into that onside and does beat the fielder in the deep.
Trying the exact same shot the ball before this time, comes off much better. It was a tad bit shorter. She was ready for it almost before the ball was bowled. And deep mid-wicket fielder had no chance.
He tries the same again.
But gets back in time.
It's a good loud shout, but I'm not interested.
Thoroughly beaten by the flight, trying to go down the ground.
I think we potentially have seen who's the one who's going to take the mantle of going for it.
Surprised she didn't try to target mid-wicket again, because even after that boundary there was no change in the field.
No, deep mid-wicket is really more like a deep square leg, only just in front of the umpire on that leg side, so if she does get it, she's well fielded there.
Yeah, that is a shot. She might have tried the ball before as well. She goes for it this time. Doesn't get all of it, but still have to be stopped by short mid-wicket, as there could have easily been a couple of runs. And as you said, looking at where the deep square leg is, might even.
Goes again.
Single.
I am really surprised they've still got somebody down at deep square leg. Given where Gammon was looking to hit that.
Last ball of Poppy's spell. Been really good so far. Unfortunate not to get a wicket, with 3.5 overs, 20 on 1. It's well bowled. Just trying to open up the offside there. Half it. Poppy Walker followed up. Dot ball to end her spell. 4 overs for 21 solid returns.
I think you'd be very, very happy with that in a T20 going at under 6s, especially as a spin bowler. I know obviously you've got longer boundaries, so you're not really running the risk of having one side of the ground targeted. But I think as a spin bowler, going for 21 under 6 is a fantastic return. And as you say, unfortunately not to get a wicket as well.
So they were clearly trying to push along the over rate in that last over. Just didn't manage to get a hold of it. Poppy's done really well.
Yeah, I do think Poppy's cricket IQ is very, very strong. If you see a batter going across the line, 4 or 5 balls in a row, you know how you can limit her scoring options. So defense scored really, really well to limit that after having seen one fly to the deep end of the boundary.
Gamma on strike, still on 44 from 44. Well hit. Opens up the onside. One bounce to long on. I believe she was trying to get it wider that field into that big pocket of space at about Calcutta.
Yeah, she done that. That really looked like she was squaring up to your traditional slog shot over cow corner.
Open the front leg and swing can never go wrong.
No, exactly. Wiltshire have been quite unfortunate here as well. There's been quite a few, I call them loose shots, that have fallen in gaps.
Tempted scoop shot. I don't think she got any of that really. Only a single. I can see why she played this shot with no fine leg. Just a short backward square almost.
Yeah, very interesting field placement.
She got Gammon's eyeing up the boundary again, which one there's a gap at the wicket. Fine leg. Weaving her favourite shot through backward. Ooh.
Well struck. Sunny again.
Smart shot that. I don't think she was trying to hit it there, but saw that the field was up and just managed to chip it over for a couple of runs. Raced along to 47 now, not far from the half century.
Up the court. Odds on favourite. Steps inside, tries it. Gets it out to deep cover.
Farfet has faced a lot less deliveries, but I'd imagine she'll also be trying to push it along. Oh, that's a wide. Beats the keeper. I believe she managed to get the end of a finger on it, which diverts it to third man.
I was going to say, I'm interested by the fielder at third man, given you've seen so many cuts. You think she'd go wider, but he's a sort of an orthodox third man, and as I was about to say, she's bowled a wide one picked up by third man, so I suppose
it's a lot easier sitting up here, isn't it?
It might be a safety. Is that one going to quarter man now again into the gap?
4 runs.
4 runs.
Great shot. Looked like a slower ball, just came out side of the hand or even the back of it. Soft start. Picked up, and she's reached a half century from 48 deliveries.
And then she really set the tone with that shot square for 4 off her first delivery.
6 boundaries so far in her 52, and with still best part of 6 overs to go. There's that cut shot.
I said it was the one she was going to play for the 50. She plays it a ball later, hits 4 through deep backward point.
That is brilliant batting because the one before was slower on the stump. She put it over cow corner, forced the bowler to go a little bit wider, which fed perfectly into her arc and absolutely nailed the cut. Point had no chance and was always fought from the moment left the bat.
Yeah, we did say she didn't offer any width in that first over, which is what made it so successful. That second over, trying to do a little bit more with the ball. Unfortunately, that last one offering a little bit too much width, seeing us have cut away.
6 overs remaining. Glamorgan 99 for 1. And fear if Wiltshire don't manage to break this partnership, it could start to get away from them very quickly. Change of bowling, of course, as Poppy had bowled out. Just down to long on for 1.
Yeah, not timed well at all, but picked her.
Emily Smith into the attack, also leg spinner, but very different action to Poppy's.
Yeah, very unorthodox action for Smithy, but that can make her very, very difficult to pick up. So it'll be interesting to see how.
Oh, as well bowled. Gets a bit of extra bounce in that action. Seems to come more over the back of her shoulder than Poppy, who comes a lot more round arm in traditional leg spin attack.
Yeah, and also, as we say, with that extra bit of bounce, quite a bit taller than Poppy as well. So interesting to see how she might use that extra bounce. This fielded off her own bowling.
Just a single, so not that much damage. I also feel this action lets her take the stumps a lot more with extra bounce. Those cross-batted shots. So with a chance of top edge. It's a great shot. Beats long on, 4 runs, is well hit, picked the length up really well, struck it sweetly.
Yeah, judged by the crowd reaction, it was a tough one. Tough one for the fielder, didn't quite get there. A good shot.
She's into her 40s now as well, 2-1 from 35. Must be a change of those gloves.
Yeah, you got a lucky glove. Did seem to be the one who was more attacking from the outfit there. Did feel like Gammon was accumulating, but got to 50 significantly quicker.
Yeah, but Gammon did have a lot more of the strike in that middle period, so didn't see much of passing for quite a lot of that.
She hit chair at 6 and she did what she needed to do. See how she continues.
Wide, a little bit shorter, just snuck past the batters left here. Wasn't the worst of it, I think she was slightly unlucky.
I think you might feel upset.
Yeah.
Upset. Ground again.
Gives it more air this time. She tries to repeat the same shot. Oh no.
Slight misfield.
Managed to come back for a second.
Gives away another single.
Emily won't be happy with that. Yeah, that was a different shot, trying to open up the offside with extra cover in the ring and with off as well. Again, only can bunt out the point.
Fired in by the fielder at point then.
Almost with a hint of anger.
Yes. So that's Captain Emily Smith's first over through.
108 for 1.
Not sure what to make of that. A couple of misfields and a boundary off the over. I don't particularly happy with it.
It hasn't got away from Wiltshire yet. There are still 9 wickets in hand.
What are you imagining what you're targeting if you're Glamorgan here? So we talked about the sort of 130, 140, 150, where I think we're definitely on the upper end of that now.
Yeah, we definitely are looking at sort of 140 to 150 now with 5 overs left and still 2 set batters, 9 wickets in the half.
I think you'd be upset not to come in at 140 here, 100%. Bit of width on offer again.
But should be pushing 2. And they do get 2. Praying on the misfield and it has worked.
A bit slow on the pickup there from deep cover.
I do feel the fielders are getting a little bit more tired now. They're having to do a lot of hard work out there, especially square on either side of this massive outfit. At this point in the innings, you're always pushing that second one, aren't you?
I think you have to. I think early on I said there was one that went down quite straight. I was surprised they didn't run a second full. We're now starting to see those second runs coming through. I'll look it out again. That one should just be a single.
Yeah. That was a lot simpler, straight at her.
Yeah, a little bit harder as well, so.
Yeah, less moving. Look at it 2 ways, can't you? Parfit will try and find the fence.
See if she can step inside it over that counter. But again, there it goes straight.
Can only find it off it. She hasn't struck with the same authority she has in the last few times. Halfway through the over.
Well cut again. A lot of room made there.
Gammon did it 2 balls in the last over, for instance, so
Yeah, we still have
Same
that
thing.
third man maybe, which is surprising to me. She goes for the same.
And it goes to that third man. Comes in.
I think the challenge of that, she's not hit that well at all. Almost sounded like an under edge. Down towards third man.
Some serious pad rush for Glamorgan. Not the worst thing when your team's flying around.
No, absolutely.
Well,
I'm not sure I'd mind it. Were it me.
Goes for the scoop. There's a good chunk of it.
They have called too early, but I don't think they're going to get it. Well round from third man again.
Just a single. She managed to pull the shot off quite well, but almost got too much of it. And just looped over the keeper for a single. Normally those shots, you really want is a little glance past the keeper, use all the pace and the ball available. But with its follow there, she managed to get a lot more chunky part of the battle, so more vertical, going past the keeper.
Would you take that over as Wiltshire there? No boundaries off the over, taking through in singles?
At this point, when you're really up against it, you're going to have to anything with no boundaries involved is a win, really.
See if Emily Smith second over. Big
Powerful
shot
strong down the ground. One bounce.
Just beating the fielder.
One bounce and four. Great effort from Longer, coming all the way across the side screen. Didn't quite get there. That was well struck by Parfitt. Parfitt is now on 49. Become the second Glamorgan batter to reach 50 in this innings.
Did you take the easy single down the ground, or did you go for another biggie? Guarantee it.
Feel more of the second one position their team is in.
You're tempted, aren't you?
Oh, it's very smart from Wiltshire. They know she's on 49, so they have brought cover up.
Yeah, almost chipped into cover's hands as well.
Yeah, trying to make her force her way to 50.
There's that easy one down the ground. Nicely struck. And makes their way to 50.
Well batted there. An interesting innings. She came out the block really quick. And, Gammon took over a lot of the run scoring during the middle bit. And now she's come back and hitting boundaries nicely at a point where Glamorgan needed.
Yeah, very much took a back seat. It's been low, but
it's an excellent shot.
I thought the fielder might just get around to cut it off. Has not.
Fully using the crease there, Gammon. Surprisingly, for the first time, this innings has gone all the way across her stumps and hit it half shot fine, which I'm sure none of the Wiltshire players were expecting because all innings she'd been backing away.
Yeah, she's been great on the count.
Goes for it again. Firmly struck. Decent enough can. Only a single. Yeah, back to normal business of backing away and hit that.
Away and hit through the offside. Yeah, she's very, very, very strong moving her feet. Moving around her crease, putting the ball off line and length. Parfitt's done the same and smoked it through the offside again.
Good shot there. A little bit aerial, but was in the gap. Got enough of it as well. And as soon as it's passed, there was always four. She knew it. So all she had to do was jog to the other end and tap her back.
I think early in the inning you should worry about a shot like that. Now, at this point, you've made your half century, you've got your team to a very good position, you've still got 9 in the hutch. I think I'm quite happy for that to go in the area.
They're seeing it very well out there. Both of them 54 and 66. Last 3 overs here, 18 balls and 128. You really think they can get 150?
Yeah, I'd assume so. I think you're pushing for it now, especially with those 2 set batters in. I think it's interesting looking at it. I didn't see it being a massively bat-friendly track, so interesting to see two big scores out in the middle.
Yeah, it wasn't really much on offer. There was a little bit of swing early, and there wasn't really much spin either. So.
Way across their stumps again.
That's a great shot.
That is a shot for the confident set batter. That.
Shot of someone who's been there for a long time and knows exactly what to choose. Really playing with the field now, hitting really strong square of the wickets, off and now leg side as well. So it's starting to become difficult for the Wiltshire bowlers. But the offside pushes it to deep extra cover, cleanly collected.
Yeah, that's well fielded, just as simple as that.
Very nice throw on the bounce, straight into the bowler's hand. Katie's back, bowls depth, open. Bit of width, up down the ground. Cleanly struck. No one comes round.
That's well fielded there.
2 runs.
I think you're happy with that outcome, strangely, if you're Wiltshire, because the way she hit it, I thought that was going for 4 dead straight.
Oh. Umpire thought about it for a second. Didn't give the wide.
We've not seen many cuts missed then.
For that one, she was actually shaping up to go leg side. She walked across her stumps, but Katie Cook followed her. Reverse sweep. That's a brilliant shot.
Does look to hold up in the outfield, but will still run away.
Pierced the gap perfectly there. I guess once you've reached deep into your innings, into 60 runs, you can start playing those shots with a lot of confidence and authority, and will not be missing it. Because if you did, I think the umpire's finger would have been up quite quickly.
Yeah, it's a brave shot, but again, this late in the innings with runs on the board and wickets in hand.
So they managed to get hold of that one. Slightly lost their shape, almost trying to drag it across the stumps.
It's a good recovery out there from Katie. Being reverse swept before was never the ideal as a bowler, so to come back and see a dot off the final ball, it's happy days.
139 for 1 going to the last 2. Gammon on 71, Parfitt on 60. Looking like a really strong scorecard for Glamorgan. Could have a big finish here and make an excellent first in, putting themselves in a really strong position to win the game from it.
Tinkering with the fields.
Deep mid wicket, deep square leg.
Into the offside, well picked up there.
Yeah, she's trying to pierce that gap between mid off and extra cover. Only managed to find the extra cover fielder. Sending her in for our last over from the other end from which she bowled her first one.
Down. Yeah, well picked up. And a good throw in as well.
Fielder at short mid wicket didn't get down quick enough, but luckily her teammates backed her up quite well there.
See one off going out there as well. And the cover fielder coming back into the ring. My next hit to that fielder at not one.
Slightly wide of her. They're pushing 2. Gammon's very keen, and Parfitt complied. Was well run. You're starting to see now once you hit those gaps, the fielders are a little bit more tired, having run a lot today. 2 to 5, 6. Oh, that's really unlucky.
That's very unfortunate there.
So Parfitt's hit that really well into the gap at cow corner. The deep mid wicket fielder has come across and actually done brilliantly to parry it back into the field, but her teammate got in the way, it deflected off her and went out for 4. Just been that sort of day for Wiltshire, really, hasn't it?
Very unfortunate there. Harrison Lauren Adams down there at on deep mid wicket.
To add salt to those wounds, she has gone for a reverse sweep. Hit really nicely with no short third man. There's always 4 on the cards. And a little bit of wheels coming off now.
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's the end of an innings, you've got 2 set batters. I don't see too much fish being bowled really. Just when you're comfortable, when you're set, you can turn any line, any length into any shot you want really. And definitely seen that with the couple of reverse sweeps in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, wide of long off. Coming back for a second. I'll get that pretty comfortably.
Well picked up though, well round and off.
And in doing so in that over, they have passed the 150 mark, and they still have 6 balls left. So, I mean, they'll be happy with what they have so far, but anything from there will be a very sweet bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. I think mentally, if you can get above 160, above that 8 and over in the chase, it's tough because you already need, as Wiltshire, you need at least a boundary and over from the beginning to get anywhere near that 8 and over. So it really puts the pressure on. I think if Wiltshire keep this anywhere under 160, they would be quite happy. I should say in the context of the last over, I don't think they'll be particularly happy having seen 160 past them.
Goes for that sweep, tries to put into that vacant fine leg region. It's a little bit on it, but only dribble away to the keeper. Goes for it again. Succeeds this time. She's very keen to run. Half it, not so. She knew it was 4 from the moment left the bat.
Definitely some confidence coming out here at the end of the innings.
Very much a case of pick your boundary at this point in the innings. Both batsmen really, really well set and just hitting to any fence at will.
Goes again.
A bit more aerial. Nearly did go, but there's always enough on it once you get that height on it.
I did think so. I paused there. I was going to say, and gets it again. I didn't think it was going to go the second time. Matthew Wiltshire, do you move the field around to cover that shot?
No, yet. What they have done is put the short third man across. Short third has gone across the short final, which means that shot is still on offer, but she will have to go in the air, taking that extra risk. But I'm sure at this point in the innings she wouldn't
I
mind.
think you'd still take it.
Yeah.
There you go. Now she's been sent.
Almost like a deep, fine leg.
It's a strange position.
Means,
it's almost like a deep backward square, but she's very...
Feel a reverse sweep there.
Sorry.
Or not. Chip. Oh, and it's 4. Wasn't really well struck at any point, to be honest, but it was in the gap. And once you're set like that, you just find that even when you're not trying, the ball goes to the fence.
I think it showed you the pace of the outfield as well. I thought the fielder was getting around the whole time. But
84 of 64. It was the 12th boundary of the innings. 2 balls left in Glamorgan's innings. That's a cut. Don't really poke it out. Pushing hard for the 2.
You've got to get to surely no. Field it actually.
Half it will face the last ball of the innings. 72 of 52. 8 fours and 1 huge 6.
She started, so she'll finish out. Last ball this innings go. Big attempted shot.
It's like anticlimax after all the fireworks we've seen so far. 165 for 1 after 20 overs for Glamorgan. That is a brilliant first inning. You couldn't really ask for much more, can you?
No, and I think, we said the infield was quick, but I think the boundaries were big. I wasn't expecting a 160 here, so it'll be interesting to see how Wiltshire approaches in the chase.
Will be very much so. 2 batters have batted really, really well. Half it, 72 of 53, 8 fours and a 6. Started really strong, and then once Gammon came in, she took over in the middle overs and hasn't looked back since. 85 of 65, 12 boundaries to pretty much all sides of the ground. Started off cutting really well, and then opened up the leg side. And once they were set, it was really just very, very difficult for the Wiltshire bowlers to gain back any sort of control.
Yeah, I think when she was cutting, it was fine. You can set the fielder out, deep cover, you can give her 1 or 2 out there. As soon as she started playing to the side of the boundary, it becomes much, much more difficult to set field. She's saw the boundaries really start to flow at the end of the innings there. So very well batted from 2 of those.
Big chase ahead for Wiltshire, which will commence in about 10 minutes' time after change of innings. So thank you very much for joining us. We will see you very, very soon for the run chase on 166 runs to win for Wiltshire.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you want to
Perfect.
grab some food?
Yes, please.
Sweet. Yes, I'll help.
Did you see how filming? Yes, I know. It was cracking. Really
You should have heard. I went, oh.
Where's it going to? Our stream or?
It's on YouTube.
It's on. I'll put the link on our. See.
No. I just did it. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I really didn't see 160 there.
Okay, and once two batters got set.
Oh, yeah, no.
Here we go. There we go.
I've got some dejected. Which did.
Actually, you and Flo and Joanne. Big side track.
125 yards to go. Yeah, Charles.
What's wrong? Ah, okay, it's a singing thing.
Yeah, I think we go. Obviously, it's 2.5 things. That ready. This finally. Right. Well, actually, got my phone. So. Yeah, nice. It's certain down there.
Let's have a quick. Yeah, let's get a quick get rid.
I've had a little chat with Elliot.
Did you?
Apparently we've got no Kieran for the first final.
No, we don't. You don't have me.
Nothing. Have we got Nick yet or no?
No. It's alright. We'll figure it out for the second game. Yes, there's no Kieran. I'm not in any. Will be fine. They just need to find someone to actually do this.
Hello and welcome back to the run chase. Glamorgan batted first, scoring 165 for 1 in their first innings, and Wiltshire getting ready for the run chase. Open at Sanya and Lauren out in the middle. Sanya pushes it to point first ball. Good start for Porter. Wiltshire need to get away early. Don't want any chance at this. Another excellent delivery. Sanya pushes it out into the offside. Three dots of the first 3 balls. Early pressure already from Glamorgan onto Wiltshire. That's another dot. Exactly what you want.
This is also the tight lines that we were talking about, which are not bowling. Good line, good length early on.
I
Take
think
boundary and over.
from Wiltshire's point of view, they'll have to get, as you said, at least 1 away in every over to keep themselves in it.
Might be the one if that spins away. No.
White come round, 2 runs. The intent was clear to see. I'm sure they have much choice chasing such a large total, but the intent was there. Top hedge didn't quite fly away for full, but a couple of runs. Wiltshire are off the mark in their innings.
You're seeing the intent there.
More intent, doesn't quite beat the feel. Interesting to see that they've also started with spin from the same end that Wiltshire bowled spin, but obviously Glamorgan did it first up, Wiltshire did it second over.
I think that's potentially part of the plan. I think knowing that they're chasing such a big total, if you bring a seamer on early, pace on the ball, Wiltshire could easily get 8, 12 off that first over, and it really sets the tone for you. Making the batter come in fresh and have to hit the ball. Not easy.
Some seam bowling from this end. Well, the keeper is standing up, so they are keen, very keen to keep them pinned at the crease. Lauren to face her first delivery. Shove through the onside, out to deep square leg. 1 run.
Finds the deep fielder on the inside.
And Eve Jackson has started how Wiltshire's team bowlers didn't. Straight on line, on the stumps, and with a deep square and a deep fine leg, bowling exactly into her field. Imagine any width here would fly away to the fence. Oh,
That's dropped short. No single taken either, which in a chase of this size I would suggest might be a mistake.
Sanya just closed her bat face a little bit early, and the top edge was found, but fortunately for her, just landed short with wicket.
Well struck, but again straight at a fielder.
It's one of those situations you're chasing a massive score, but every time you come out to bat, it just feels like you find the fielders. And in fairness to them, for a quite a good stretch of that inning, Glamorgan was the same, but eventually did find the game. She would hope for the same top edge, and this time it is caught. Once again, closing her face very early, trying to hit out to that deep square leg fielder, but could only succeed in finding short third and a simple catch. One down early, a Wiltshire. Very much like Glamorgan were, but they're going to need a big partnership here to get their chase going.
Yeah, I think the score comparisons are probably quite similar, ironically, that it really was that second wicket partnership that sent Glamorgan to their significant total. So interested to see if Wiltshire can get going from now. I think it goes to show as well in that over you saw the fielder at deep fine coming across to back the keeper up when there was already somebody backing up. They're clearly not anywhere near as tired as Wiltshire were towards the end of that innings. So
they're all very fresh, considering only 3 batters were used in that Glamorgan innings. The rest of them were pinned to their batting pad, so I'm sure they're very eager to get out on the grass, get their legs running. That pad rush could have been.
I think knowing you're trying to defend the big as 165 as well must feel quite good. Having not been required to bat, potentially some of those middle order batters not being required to bowl either. You're going to use up all of that energy you can in the field.
And it'll very much be needed with the size of this ground.
Again, tight line and length. That's that energy I'm talking about. That fielder who's just taken the catch at sort of a gully has run all the way across to back up the keeper.
And it all really feeds into Glamorgan feeling like they're on top, showing like they're on top with their actions in the field. A shot. Just the one though.
That's what Sanya was trying for most of that over. Fortunately, it was her down.
Yeah, she seemed a little bit too eager to force it into that gap. It was her downfall. A much better play there. And flow. Just waited for it to come in to her pads and gently tucked it in. 4 from the first 2 overs. Quite the start that Wiltshire imagined, but once they can free their arms and have a good end to this power play, then they'll have some base to work on for the rest of the run chase.
It'll be interesting to see how Wiltshire approach it as well as things get tight. I think a lot of it's the mental game of the chase. If you can keep this chase under 10 and over through the innings, you would like to think you'll believe.
Outside edge, beat the keeper.
Run for 4.
Talking about energy, it was a brilliant chase from the Booker Quinn. She was never really going to make it, but nevertheless, charged all the way, gave it a good run. And there is the first boundary of Wiltshire's innings. They will need a lot more of that. I don't think they'll be too fussed about where it comes from.
If you're going to slash hard, especially
without a third man. Good correction from the bowler. No third man. She came a little bit straight up. More tight lines there.
Yeah, it's interesting to see her bowling quite a negative line. Not really looking to take wickets, but looking to stem the runs, which I'm going to be honest at this point is what you need to be doing.
Top edge. Oh, brilliant effort. Oh, for the moment I thought she'd got a hold of that square leg. Another top edge. Almost carries. Not quite. I think that is pressure telling. They are really having to force it now.
It's that pressure telling, I also think it's that sticky wicket we referred to in the first innings. Although the set batters at the moment did start to see it nicely, it still doesn't look like it's coming through fantastically well off the pitch.
Glamorgan are buzzing through these overs, dot after dot after dot, coming really quickly, and before you know it, they're already through 3 or 4 overs, and Wiltshire are falling further behind. Excellent
Nice shot.
A race away, hard blue ball. Flies across the outfield. Brilliant shot, bit of whip, pierced the gap, well timed, didn't try and overhit it. Wiltshire with its second boundary of the over. She moves on to 9 now. And they're going to continue the siege in the second.
Be interested to see how John Adams approaches this now. It's a very aggressive batter. Something like Flo also likes to attack and play the shot. It'll be interesting to see how Lauren Adams sets herself up there. Does try to
Clear the front leg swing. I believe she was aiming for the open mid-wicket region, but came off the inside half, one run to deep square. Once again, that part of the ground is being used heavily already. First innings, much like it was throughout. Well bowled, full face of the bat, not much you can do with that delivery. Just got to accept it and pat it back, really.
It's a very, very good T20 delivery to get early on, especially in a chase. Not much on offer at all, which is unfortunate. Wiltshire is offering up too much.
Excellent tight lines. Pushing to mid-wicket. It really seems as if there's nothing on that table for Wiltshire. Every single time ball's dropped in, there's no chance for a single at all. It's just charge in, snuff out any possibility of a single.
Same again. It's telling when the bowler is able to tidy up after himself.
The frustration showed. Both Sharman quite aggressively almost charged away towards square leg.
She felt she could hit that somewhere a little harder and slightly different. But she does go big, that frustration showing.
Narrowly missed the off stump, nearly bowled there. The exact same delivery. Three dots with trailing. She's trying to mow that over mid-wicket into the big open space at Cap corner, but got pretty much nowhere near it.
Very, very strong. Best known for her patience. Interesting to see if she can hold out here. Just a single off the over. Not ideal when you're chasing 165, unfortunately.
Brilliant start from Glamorgan there, making sure that there's going to be absolutely nothing for Wiltshire to push off and trying to make sure they stay in this dominant position all throughout the game, where pretty much from the first ball they've been on top and they've kept it that way.
Starting to see some of those first cracks under the pressure. That last over, Flo went swinging big. Interesting to see how Glamorgan respond. They look to attack, but they just have to bowl those good consistent lines blanks again and keep her there, keep her frustrated.
They have changed the bowler.
Straight coming.
Oh,
Dropped. Unfortunately, it looked like, I dare say, an easy catch. She'd done a lot of hard work to get there.
And you ain't got both hands on it. Thought she'd have snapped on it. See.
A life. Potentially a much needed life. To the deep square boundary.
Just a single.
Just a single.
Excellent start for Sarah Phillips coming in from that far end. First ball nearly gets a wicket, second one goes out just for a single. Wiltshire batters have got to attack someone, right? Well, that's an excellent delivery. Quick work from the keeper, but Lauren Adams never left their crease at any point to begin with.
Just reminding her not to, I think it's a stable ground for the keeper.
Cut away to point, quick single. Glamorgan will be happy with that. Won't do them much harm. Ground's really starting to buzz now. A lot of the crowd are coming in. Smell of chips is in the air. Strong shot.
It's a good shot.
Hit very well. But straight to that deep wicket fielder.
Well fielded as well.
Yeah.
We saw quite a few of those in the Wiltshire trainers game too.
A lot of sore forearms today.
Very, very, very tight start.
Into the last over of the power play, Wiltshire are 17 for 1.
I thought she'd hit a lot better, but again, potentially a sign of it sticking a little bit. Actually, quite
Eve Jackson bowling 3 flat in the power play. Which is not surprising at all, considering she's only got 4 runs so far, 13 balls.
It's a great shot into that.
Oh. Very, very interesting bit of fielding there. Very well struck.
Not too sure what to make of that, are they?
I don't know. Like, I can try and explain it. It was very well struck. 1 bounce. I thought he was going for 4. She did really well to get across. Went to field it with a knee slide. Kind of popped over her. And then a little toe poke. Stopped it from going for 4, but it was almost laying down on the floor, agonisingly, like a Hollywood movie star, watching the ball roll away to the boundary. And
I'm sure quite a lot.
no, almost before it hit the road, it just stopped. So a range of emotions. The crowd really seems to enjoy it. But now they do put an extra fielder out there, deep square and deep wicket.
We've seen her go twice now. She does try and go again.
Inside half,
Time.
just a single. Wiltshire need 145 from 15 overs, and it is starting to push up at 10 and over, so going to have to get a move on soon. Umpire's very quick to give that, and rightfully so. She's trying to play across the line out to those 2 deep fielders, but it was very full and very straight and very, very out. 21 for 2, 3 balls left in the power play.
Very, very out, but that is the umpire that taught me how to umpire. Always said, take the same amount of time for every decision. He looked very, very ready to give that one. As you say, not much going for that in the way of Wiltshire too.
Back leg, not going over, and on middle stance. Not much
doubt at all.
No.
Not much doubt at all.
I don't trust them.
Exactly the power play style Wiltshire would have imagined. Really a big effort from their middle order to get close to it.
Yeah, so as soon as that rate creeps up 10 and over, the mental game comes in.
It's already at 10, so they're going to have to go hard here. It's always difficult when they're 2 wickets down with new batters in, but they haven't been left with much other choice as Emily Smith walks the crease.
I'm glad to see Emily Smith coming up here. A few games recently, she's been down 9, 10 or 11 in the longer format games. So good to see her. She can score runs quickly.
Quick runs is exactly what they'll need. 1 ball left of the power play and of Jackson's third over.
Do have to give a lot of credit to Jackson. Fantastically well.
Given absolutely nothing to the Wiltshire batters. Excellent line and excellent length every single ball. And rewarded with 2 wickets. Probably the first bit of width she's offered up, but
fortunately, you lost it to the batter who's just come in, so not able to capitalise.
Out on the power play now, so we are out the luxury of an extra couple of fielders outside.
At this point, I don't know if, with so many missed-time shots, catches on offer, I'm not sure how much I'd be looking to change my field here.
What it will do is allow Wiltshire to ease away a few more singles and get a partnership going, which might not be the worst thing for them.
Absolutely, I think being able to rotate the strike freely could be the key here. Leading 10 and over, we are coming close to that 2 boundaries and over mark, so the more 1s and 2s you can get, the less pressure there is on you to score boundaries. Usually when you're dabbing them back to fielders, you need a few more boundaries.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show a bit of intent to take the single, which is good work, but a little misfield in the end. Oh, it should have been.
It is 2.
In the end, it is 2. For a moment, there's a lot of doubt. It's a bit of yes/no calling, but in the end, they did make it. Back for the second. It was a good shot, gave herself a bit of room, used the crease, opened it up, nearly managed to beat point, but not completely.
I think if you beat point there, that goes away. So you're still going to be happy with that shot as a batter. Just a couple of metres further left or right. Goes again.
Completely missed. Similar delivery, this time choose to play up the front for the same result. Just trying to keep a silence. Past the flatter on that stump, punch straight back to the bowler.
I think this keeper being up is making a massive difference. Fair play being stood up to everybody here. Really gets in your head of the batter, makes you feel like you've got less space, less time to move. Definitely the case of that over there with a couple of dot walks, lots of late foot movement. So
24 for 2 after 7. It's starting to get away from Wiltshire here. Going to need a lot of heroics.
I don't think we're quite in the territory of impossible yet, but we're in the territory of very, very unlikely, unfortunately.
Good strong shot, beats mid-wicket. Just a single though.
Another jogged single in a chase, I'm not sure.
That's the right method to a game.
The way you're going to do this is by putting pressure on those fielders, and if you're jogging a single, they've got all the time in the world to pick the ball up and throw it back in.
A gentle full toss almost, sort of pushed to mid-off. It didn't look like there was a real attempt to pierce the fielder there.
Walked again off her mark behind the stumps, no intent to run at any point. Very gammon-like there, steps away from the stumps, tries to get it into the offside, but it's not connected well with it.
Surely Wiltshire have got to give it a strong push here, see what they can get. Got to get this chase moving at some point. That might help. Little ball down the leg side. It's away. The keeper chases it, but it was always a simple single. Umpire has given it as leg glides.
I think if you're Wiltshire, you're selfishly hoping that's hit nothing and you take the extra ball. But
Another dot. Another very tidy over from Glamorgan. They're having absolutely no fuss about this. Top edge, big swing across the line, and just land short of the third man.
I think that's the challenge when you're chasing 160. You have to go for those big shots, and when you're not timing them, it becomes a real struggle. You see another one off that top edge.
It's been a very, very clinical performance so far from England with the bat. Pretty ruthless, only 1 wicket down, slapping 160 on the board, and equally ruthless with their bowling and fielding. They've limited Wiltshire to 26 for 2 after 8 overs, and never let them get going in this run chase at all.
Yeah, I think with the bat they were pretty much chanceless bar the wicket that went. I know we said there were a few that went into the gap between mid-wicket and mid-on, but there really wasn't anything that looked like it was going to go to hand. And within these first sort of 7, 8 overs, Wiltshire have already seen a number spin off the top edge and either go into the hands of the field or drop just short. So chanceless and ruthless in both innings.
Eventually single to long on, ball struck firmly past the bowler. Non-striker had a little tumble trying to get back into the crease, but made it to the other end eventually. Oh, quite unlucky, that cute little shot. The shot was on. No short third, but just got the Q end of it and dribbled out to the point. Good intent, but unlucky.
I'll give credit to Point as well, because you think that could have been a single, which was very, very quick off the ring.
Tries to hit Point, but in a different shot this time. Same result, 0 wrong. Back, no run. 2 from this over so far. Last ball. Oh, nearly a wicket there. Trying to walk across the stumps to make some width or some room, but can only manage an inside edge that narrowly beat the stumps.
I think that's a show of how this innings has gone. They're trying to force the gap, and they can't.
Can't really seem to find them.
I think, in fairness to Glamorgan, that's what they did so well. Especially Gammon, stepping across their stump, stepping away, stepping outside leg to really create that room for herself. Choose which boundary she wanted to hit to. We've not seen that yet from Wiltshire.
Full toss, I'll put up some runs.
Which is going to be one.
Nicole Reid gets away with that.
Yeah, hit very, very well to that fielder at deep square leg. Again, too well for a 2, unfortunately.
Very well positioned fielder in the end. Not sure she want to keep holding that though. That's better. Chipped over mid-wicket.
That's that one that Glamorgan kept getting. Exactly in that same little triangle of fielders. At least some intent, although lacking the timing at the moment again, unfortunately.
Yeah, it might be a case of a lot of things need to go right from here for Wiltshire to have opened this chase. Flighted, mid-wicket's right. And a single.
They're well down that fielder, actually.
Yeah. Outfield here is quite abrasive, so...
Well, it's easy as well. I think there's cover behind, somebody will come in and pick up a single, but they're so far ahead in this chase, and she's still thinking she needs to get down and stop that.
Very nice shot. Hit the gap. Not much pace enough her. Pushing 2, and it will stay as 2.
Crowd seemed to enjoy that shot as well. Delicately played.
Nice to see some good intent picking the gaps. Two balls left till the midpoint of the innings. 33 for 2 on Wiltshire. Charges down the ground. Great shot. One bounce. And very well fielded from the long on fielder. Saved 3 runs there.
Strutting back to her mark on the boundary. Seems happy with that one. Good shot, well fielded, good cricket all round. Goes again.
Do have a fielder out there. Got a double mid-wicket. Seems to be working.
I think again, without wanting to bring up Gammon too much, her shuffling across constantly to cut to deep cover meant you had to have a deep cover for an entire innings for Wiltshire. Glamorgan here have got a deep square, essentially somebody at cow corner, and almost sort of a long on, which makes it very, very difficult to swing across the line and score runs in what was a very vacant mid-wicket area for Wiltshire. So again, shows the difference in the batting style. Not easy for Wiltshire to score runs down that leg side.
Change of bowling from that top end, I think. Dot ball steaming in his geech there.
See Coach Sam Dent down in front of me in the kit bag. I'd have anything thoughts at that.
A width, giving us a wide, rightly so. Very different to the first ball, which was right on the money. But I guess when you are so far ahead of the game that those little mistakes aren't costly at all. Straight up in the air, who wants it? Cover goes across and all. Catches it in the end, slight juggle, but nevertheless caught out. That is the pressure telling. Another ball on a nice hard length. Swung across the line, but never got it anywhere near where it was meant to go. And fairly simple catch in the end.
It is very much pressure telling, but the lack of celebration suggests that the Glamorgan fielders weren't particularly happy with the fact that that nearly went down. As we said, they're far enough in this chase that small mistakes aren't going to be what makes the difference, but you'd still like to come through feeling good about the result.
Sure, the Glamorgan players and coach in particular would like this to be a very, very good performance as it has been so far. They wouldn't want to let it end on a slightly sour note by giving away a few runs and letting Wiltshire get a few more than they need to.
Yeah, we've already seen a couple of misfields and a drop catch already, so the fact that second one didn't go down is quite significant. Let's just say, not that I think heads would drop enough that you concede 140 in 10 overs, but still not exactly. See if she hits that hard leg again.
I think the side looks very, very fatigued because in positions like this, rather than allow themselves to fade away and fade away through the game, let a few runs go, which wouldn't make any difference to the result by the looks of it right now. I think Glamorgan, trying to be the good side that they are, will really keep the foot on Wiltshire and just snuff this game out as efficiently as possible.
I think you have to keep your standards through a game, regardless of whether you look like you're very likely to win it or not. you'd rather win a game 165 for 1 and 50 all out than you would have them be 90 for 7 and know that you haven't quite done everything you could to close the game out. Because although it looks like they will beat Wiltshire today, that next opponent might not go down in the same fashion.
Yeah, Glamorgan will have tougher days ahead of them. They've done really well today, but they, as you said, they've got to keep showing their standards and making sure they can do it for all 40 overs of the game, which will be more important in a lot tighter contests. First runs for Emily Wolf, flick down to fine leg. Showing him strike, she got 7 off 18. Make that 8 from 19. He hasn't really managed to get going today. No boundaries in her 18 deliveries. Struggling to perhaps get the pace of the wicket. As you said, it was sticking and seems to have got slower as days gone on.
Yeah. Glamorgan showed that you really need to be in to see it well on this wicket. They weren't going at a great nick for most of the first 10, 12 overs. They really picked it up at the end. But unfortunately, they're not really being allowed to get going.
Glamorgan are flying through these overs. 11 gone now, 38 for 3. Well, what do you think the target would be for Wiltshire here, as the game seems almost gone from them? What do you think they should or will try and do to make it more positive than it is currently?
Yeah, I think for now you've got to be thinking get to 3 figures, get to 100. I think you don't want to be 90, 95 for 7. You want to get over those 3 figures. You want to have positive batting performance from your middle order. We saw Glamorgan bowl exceptionally well in the power play, but again, interesting to see how Wiltshire are going to capitalise through these middle overs with their middle order. I think if you're scoring under 100 in a game like this, you've really been hit off the park. So that would be my target.
They're only 3 wickets down, so they should hopefully, for their sake, not hold out. But as you said, they really want to put some sort of bank on so that they do have positives to take from this game, which there have been a couple, but not as many as they obviously needed. Chips in the air. Sure. Quite a nothing shot, not really a defence or a real attempt to push it through the infield, just kind of poked up at it. Got away with it, truth be told.
This is what I meant when I said Glamorgan had chances. We didn't see any of that really at all in that Glamorgan innings. We've seen a number already in this Wiltshire innings. Balls hit up in the air towards fielders, nothing shots off it, as you said.
Much better shot that from Bob, but found the middle fielder. Fails to get the shorter ball away either. There was runs on offer from that delivery. Short fine leg up, but got no bat on it at all. So
Blinked into that short fielder again. Really, she is a big hitter of the ball, is Emily Fogg. Not seeing it particularly well today. Again, I do wonder if the pitch is coming into play.
oh, it's not a great delivery. I think it got stuck in the hands of Nicole Reid. As it can happen with wrist spinners or spinners in general, one can get stuck and go down. It is a no ball, so has been given as a free hit. They cannot change the field. This might be Emily Fogg freeing up her arms. Yes, it is.
She does.
Hits it out straight to deep square leg, just the one run. There was a nice opportunity for her to open up the arms, maybe perhaps get her innings going, but only one run again.
Yeah, it wasn't a fantastic ball either for a free hit, but unfortunately not much more she could do than to slap it into the hands of deep square leg.
In the box, free.
What I said about there not being much in wicket, she really is charging in, trying to get something out of this pitch. Good hard length, and Glamorgan able to cat it into the offside. Tries to go big.
Maybe just missing the leg stump, kind of in the arc. Her eyes,
fantastic shout.
Yeah, her eyes did light up seeing that short mid wicket off her. Iris shot that.
Yeah.
Go for it again, but this time beats her on the other side. Fortunately, it wasn't. Wouldn't want too many of those creeping into this Glamorgan.
No, I think this is the one partnership that may benefit Wiltshire here with that left-hand, right-hand combination, potentially throwing bowlers offline and late.
Much better.
Yeah, much better.
Beats Emily Bog on the outside edge. Very well done from the keeper, who has, I think, had a helmet on the entire innings so far, which is tough work standing up, and she's done it very, very well.
You've got a lot of confidence in your bowlers as well. Squeeze down to deep square.
Still charging in for that deep square leg, so standards are being kept.
Are opting to stay at point on this one.
Oh, now, not happened that delivery yet. Sensible enough shot. A lot of action, a lot of moving.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was cleanly missed, and the keeper just collected it, no fuss.
The keeper made it look a lot less stressful than it needed tonight.
That's volley over. Steps across. Moves it out to cow corner. One bounce to the fielder.
To get those standards, that's well picked up. And again, you see this fielder from short third come all the way across the back of the keeper. Still keeping that energy.
Certainly not taking any liberties there. A lot of spinners been bowled by Glamorgan, and their spinners have just seemed to hit their areas a lot better than Wiltshire ones.
Yeah, I think line and length's been much better. These Glamorgan spinners, unfortunately, are either too short or too wide. Both of them were allowing the batters to sort of pick their battle again. Flighty.
Quite high, low ball, but very dutiful toss. But as we've seen all throughout this innings, really hard to hit a boundary to that side. We've got three fielders on the 70, 80 metre boundary. It's not easy. Also might have been a case of the Glamorgan batters, Gammon in particular, putting a lot more pressure on the spinners.
Spot fielded. Mid-wicket.
A lot of dust thrown up on the wicket ends. Could be some sore knees, but well fielded.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Gammon was really trying to put that pressure on early as well. We saw Poppy Walker go for...
Also, Glenn, Bog has absolutely nailed that, but deep mid-wicket, no fuss. Deep mid-wicket, no fuss, picks it up, fizzes it in, one run. It can be quite disheartening when you hit the ball that well.
And it just goes straight to the field. Yeah, it's well placed.
Yeah.
We saw Poppy Walker go for, I think, 4 or 6 in her first couple of overs, looked really strong.
Chipped in the air, down the ground.
Couldn't really back it up in her third and fourth, couldn't take that wicket. That might have been the difference.
Starting to get even more difficult for the Wiltshire batters. So clearly up putting the effort in to find the boundaries. It's actually hitting quite well. Glamorgan are just fielding very well and not letting them find the fence at all.
I think we might now be approaching that realm of, while still physically possible. I think you're treating this somewhat like a middle net now if you're Wiltshire. You're trying to score runs, you're trying to play like it's a T20, but you know that it's quite unlikely if you're going to be getting to this significant total.
Technically speaking, the required rate is almost 20, so I mean, unless something happens that we don't see very often at all, I think you can put the result to bed now, can't you?
Yeah, I think England yesterday at Lord's scoring 400 in their ODI. I don't think even the likes of those batters can come here and go at 20 and over consistently. So if we see it, I think we'll see something close to miracle-like.
I think this live stream might go very viral if that does happen.
Charging in again.
Slap down the ground. Enough collects it. He doesn't think no fuss about.
So again, well fielded then.
Yeah, I think you've seen all throughout the day that just the differences between the two teams. Glamorgan have been so clean and efficient in the field. Every time backing up, regardless of what's happening. Their lines have been brilliant, and when they were batting, they've still got so much more pressure on as compared to the Wiltshire batters.
Yeah, I think it really is that case of lines for me. Lines have been, I thought Wiltshire at the time bowled quite well. First sort of 14, 15 overs before Glamorgan really got away, I thought they bowled well, but you watch Glamorgan bowl now and you look at the lines that they're bowling and how well they're restricting the runs for Wiltshire. Different standard.
They've also been a lot smarter the way they're positioning their fielders. Because they've had a clear plan, and as we've seen by having 3 fielders out on the leg side from the spinner bowling straight, it made it very hard for Wiltshire to, even when they play a good shot, get it away before, which Wiltshire just seem to have fielders both sides of the wicket due to the way Cameron was batting. And in the end they were forced to bowl both sides of the wicket, get hit both sides of the wicket, which never really ends well, does it?
No, not at all. And I think, again, those last 5 overs when Gareth started pulling out the flashy shots, the reverses came out, it becomes even harder. You've lost it at that point as a bowling unit. Which is, I think we would have been a lot smarter with it. You're forcing them to either hit 80 metres over your head or to try and take on the fielders themselves.
That one beats the keeper altogether. A couple of buys, probably the first thing she's done wrong all day.
Yeah, it looked like she didn't really move her feet, saw a bit of a reach. If you were looking at it from up there, you might have thought that was going to be given wide, but I don't think she moved her feet at all.
Yeah, I think she's quite blindsided because the batter did walk all the way across her stumps, so probably put the keeper off.
As we say, the rate now over 20. I don't think those 2 guys are going to become
An issue.
too much of a problem.
22.8. They have crossed the 50 mark now.
As the Glamorgan coaches are actually already celebrating out to our right. I'm not saying it's premature, we called this game over.
We call it a long time ago. Which have reached 52 for 3 after 15. So with 5 overs left, they still get themselves to a fairly respectable total. Or maybe not. seemed keen to let that one go, which is
interesting. Innings. I know we've said that 110 seems quite unlikely, but good solid shot. Again.
It's an interesting day. There's only been 4 wickets across both innings so far. Good shot. Pitched over. And that is the first boundary in a long, long time. He has finally managed to get it into the gap and beat the outfield, which is proved very difficult all day.
Yeah, that is really threading a needle out there.
Especially with 3 on the leg side.
Look like the best of the
That was much better. Flat, quick out, stumps. Pushed the point for no run.
And point again. We said in the Wiltshire innings with some anger, that was just with some passion from Paul, absolutely firing.
Oh, excellent shot. A lot of power in that.
Yeah, that was fantastic shot.
Didn't come right out the middle of the bat. Really showing strength. They managed to muscle it over mid-wicket into the gap. It's 4th from left. It's a nice little late push from Wiltshire, but nothing more than a bit of feel-good consolation. 4 overs left. I think personal target Wiltshire would be that 100 run mark.
I think you've got to try and get up into that 3 figure to you know, you see Bobby striking well. You've got to hope you get up towards that.
These 2 batters have been in this for quite a while, so as we saw in the first inning, once batters do get set and get holders pitched, there are a lot of runs on offer. But unfortunately for Wiltshire, it's almost come 16 overs too late.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's I will say that fantastic crowd out. Very busy, car park completely full, spectators almost all the way around the boundary.
It's a lovely Friday in the half term. Kids out obviously off school, and it's not. It's a nice day. It is quite overcast, but not cold at all. It's very good feel and day to be out.
And I will say it's a good day to.
That's a brilliant shot. Well, it just makes it for 4. Charging down the track, she does minute it and thread the gap.
That's the good intent again. That's the intent that required 16 overs again.
It's a real nice thing to give the crowd, who a lot of them Wiltshire supporters have seen their team on the back foot throughout the day. Coming back into steps across, doesn't manage to get can't reach it fine.
I think if you're watching here, you've got a lot of your young girls who really want to see you push through to the end.
Oh, it's brilliant. And it makes it all the way through the 10. Really started to slide.
Was he nervous there? Because there was a choice made not to run quite as quick. And I thought the film was going to get better cover, but it does go.
I think she had full belief in her shot. It was quite straight as well, so in that gap. And now there is a change of field after hitting 2 boundaries using her feet. Long off, mid off has gone to long off, and covers come in. So I imagine this will be targeted full in her hands. She steps across, gets none of it really. Just a single to that deep mid wicket.
Feels like a bit of a theme for today. Singles deep mid wicket or singles deep cover, depending on which innings we're in. It's a good over from a Wiltshire perspective, but I'm not sure, as a bowler myself, I'm not sure I'd be happy being the one bowler in this Glamorgan innings to get the run.
Yeah.
A bit less texture, in fact, than the last year.
But as animation and Bob.
I think this partnership might have to be what pushes us up to that 100 mark that we discussed.
With 3 overs to go and 31 to get, it will be difficult, but it's not out of the record.
So it's 10 from the last stage. With that intent, I'm unsure.
Back to the bowler. I mean, as we saw the 2 batters in the first thing, not sure thinking about it, but not out does always help statistically, doesn't it? Oh, chipped in the air to extra cover. There was a possibility of catch, but I think she made the decision. So
she committed early.
Yeah, avoid the trip to dentist. Outside edge, beat short third, flying away, flashed hard, and it's 4 runs.
Yeah, if you're going to flash hard. Sing the ring again. Have they got anyone covering deep on that offside as well?
They do. With a deep cover, along on a deep mid wicket and a deep square leg, the 3 on the leg side that they have had all day.
I did wonder if that might have been why she didn't want to get down for that catch. No.
Yeah, once again the umpire from this end, very quick to get the finger up. Switch hit, missed, and it was very straight. So
so straight that there wasn't even much on the field. There was a very, very loud appeal from the bowler, I believe, not much on the field at all. Quite confident that he was going to get it. Again, I don't mind seeing it. I think you've got to try and get to a good total here. You know you're free again, so try out a few of those shots that you don't have the opportunity to.
4 wickets down. Only the 5th wicket of the day, but the real story has been the run rate difference between the 2 sides.
Yeah, I'd like to suggest that a good, at least a couple, maybe 3 and 4 wickets are coming from trying to play those big shots that they needed to in the chase. We saw Glamorgan not having to play those big shots as they were able to find the runs safely through that point region. So it's interesting to see how it's not really the bowlers getting wickets, it's more the batters getting themselves out as well.
But the bowlers have, of course, put in the right areas to get LWs. You have to put in straight.
And that's the one. I think that one on Flow Shot was one that was really well bowled. Got up straight in the end before.
New batter Poppy Walker pushes it into the onside, just a single.
I think unfortunately with that wicket and the lack of runs off it over that 100 target, that 3-field target might have a bit of a stroke down.
Well, you'd hope Bog has a nice couple of boundaries, she would continue.
Might be gap straight.
Oh, did try to line it up. Bowler followed her, ends up dragging it out to deep the wicket. Simple single. Little bit of a nice breeze. You can see the Glamorgan flag to our right. Not exactly blustering, just a little flicking the wind.
Twitching in the wind.
Yeah, that's the word.
I think when the wind gets secure, the wind might pick up and we might see it flying full. And all the coaching staff moving now off the balcony to our right, down to pitch side.
Just 12 balls left in the innings. I'm sure they're preparing. Shake hands, have this one done with, and then of course after this we are on to the men's game, which will start. Chipped in the air. Oh, caught in the end. Bog seemed very sure of it being a catch. The moment she hit it, turned around and started walking away off the pitch, which has got none of it. The shot was really on with the 2 fielders up, charging down the track, but
just again the right intent, just not the right execution, which feels like the story of this pattern in lots of Wiltshire.
just managed to chip in the air. I've circled round for a while and didn't look overly confident, but managed to clutch it in the end onto their body.
It wasn't the most comfortable of catches, but did what she needed to do.
Wicket's really starting to tumble now. I think that one big partnership is broken, and now it's just falling away from it.
What are you thinking if you're going out there to bat now?
Well, there's a couple of ways to go about it. I guess it sort of depends on the type of person you are. If you're someone who hasn't maybe batted a lot recently, you might use the opportunity to have some time in the middle, whereas for someone else who maybe doesn't take as much, maybe wants to use it as an opportunity just to free their arms and have some fun. So I think it is quite personal in that sense.
Interesting to see what we're going to get here. Are we going to get a freeing of the arms and an attempt to show the crowd something? A shout?
Not given.
Not given.
I think coming from round the wicket, that it is hard to get a little bit angle unless it's really full.
It has to be very full. It's such a negative line. I think if were my captain listening to this, I do like to go right arm round when I get tired, and I get told every time that it's disgusting and I shouldn't do it. But I think in this case, when you're defending such a big total, you can again look to stifle those runs.
Also, in T20 and limited overs cricket in particular, some of them can be quite effective to keep the batters in check. Although I'm not sure that that's exactly what Glamorgan will be worried about this stage. I imagine they'd be a bit attacking and try and get wickets back.
Yeah, I think you would want to be, as I say, attacking it. You want that ruthless performance. But it seems at the moment they are quite content. Singles.
I think that bowling Wiltshire out would have been a very, still impossible, but looks unlikely now, would be a very nice thing for put the real stamp on the performance. Absolutely wiping the field.
That is good keeping again, good footwork keeping, who, as with the one she let these 2 guys, was unsighted quite a way there, still moved down the leg side to take that key.
Throw out the short fine. Last ball of the over. Last ball of the penultimate over.
Keep the crowd what they want. She's gone for a big shot, blinked into that vacant mid-wicket region again.
Runs.
Picked up well by the Glamorgan fielders coming across.
So the last over to be bowled, the keeper will not be bowling it, as has happened. Maybe not on this level, but certain club games before, once you reach this position.
I think if you get to that point, it will be interesting to see who does bowl this over. As we say, do they go for somebody who they know can take wickets, or do they try and have a little bit of fun knowing that they've secured the game? It does look to be the same bowler.
Yeah, Glamorgan are very ruthless in their performance. A lot of high standards which have been kept all day. Start the point. Oh, well, picked up one hand. Yeah, I'm not messing about at all. I have not done at any point throughout the 40 overs of this game.
No, again, we're in the 20th. You've won comfortably, and you're still seeing.
In the air, brilliant shot, opened off. Yeah, 1 bounce, 4 runs. There's a bit of fun. Crowd are loving it. We'll get him behind.
Everyone's going to be over it. No, we're in the 20th over, and you're still seeing that fielder at fine leg running all the way across to back at the keeper. Those standards have not slipped that. It's a good shot again, but in that packed leg side field, you're going to have to do very well to get it through.
Charges down, punches along on for a single. Last couple of balls of the innings coming ahead. Great start to Glamorgan Day. They'll be hoping to double it up later with the men's team.
I think that'll be an interesting one. Don't think we're going to see this side of tentative Wiltshire in that second game.
In the air.
Did just short.
Single.
Have you got Marnie's flags and lords yet?
Here you go. Last ball to end a simply ruthless, efficient performance from Glamorgan. From ball 1 to this ball, they have been on top the entire way and have pretty much
Charges it down. A single to enough to complete.
Wiltshire innings on 87 for 5 after 20 overs, which means Glamorgan have won by 77 runs. Very, very clinical, very, very efficient, and it's a sign of a team that will go on to do very good things soon.
Yeah, an interesting one. I think we've got a few academy girls in that Wiltshire side who are really seeing the level at which Glamorgan play at. And as we said, a very kind of clinical performance from them to come out and be on top from the very beginning of that fielding effort.
Yeah, agreed. I think the level was shown by Glamorgan. They kept it the whole way, just like it should have. But for a game to show, well, what 240 balls of full intensity, you pretty much will always end up on the right side of that result.
We commented on their intensity throughout that fielding effort. They got on it from ball 1 and they stayed on it until ball 120. So I think full credit to Glamorgan. Good effort from Wiltshire. I think they struggled with the ball, in fairness, against two very strong, very well-set batters. They did come out, they did try and do the right things in that batting innings, but unfortunately not able to get to it early enough.
Nice. And just before we finish off, what is your player of the match? Who is it?
I'm going to have to go Gammon. I think Gammon was the real difference maker. We saw her hit a 4 off her first delivery, and I think the way she moved her feet to move the Wiltshire fielders around meant they could not really bowl to a specific plan. So I'd have to give it to Gammon. What about you?
I would agree. I think, although Glamorgan did bowl very well, all the good work was done in that first innings. Gammon spearheaded all of that. Intent to pick the gaps, hit both sides of the wicket, move the field, really put Glamorgan on top, and they never really looked back. So Beth Gammon, 85, got out. 65 deliveries, hitting all around the park, as you can see. But that's all from here for now. Thank you very much for joining us. Glamorgan have won by 77 runs. And if you join us in around 90 minutes' time, it will be Wiltshire men versus Glamorgan men. And hopefully we'll have another cracking game. Wait. Thank you very much. We'll see you all very soon. Sweet.
Well done.